be willing to work with Peter Obi, the principal in Labour Party at that time, which you said that he didn't do the needful in Labour Party that made you lead his camp? So if he comes to become the presidential candidate in this coalition, in this new party, in this new era, will you be willing to work for him?
Ha! Nigeria and politics. Anyway, I wouldn't blame them. I'll blame Nigerians. Oh yes, the people they are toiling with their words. Yes, Nigerians are the people I'll blame. That is why in Nigeria, you will see somebody will come out and say, if Tinubu fail, hold me responsible.
This is one of the biggest steps. Like I said, I've always said, I'm not apologetic. I said, if Ahmed Bola Tinubu fails, hold me responsible. Because I have known him since 1992, and I know what he stands for. And I can stand in the gap between him and the people and say this thing. This is a step that my brother Goodluck failed to take, even when he had the opportunity. This is a step that, after talking no subsidy, General Muhammad Buhari was not able to take. Ahmed Bola Tinubu took it from the first.
And 6 months later, 6 months, only 6 months later, the person said, no, this is not what we bargained. This is not.
This is the worst government. That's the feeling of the job people. If nobody is telling you, as a friend, I will tell you, the job people feel this is the worst government.
They play politics with everything. And so they come out in public and say whatever they want to say just to catch people's mind. And Nigerians, I don't know if they are so fragile that with words of these politicians, you know, they get caught up. Anyway, please, I want you to listen. Of course, we know that a new party has been formed, African Democratic Congress or whatever, ADC, where Peter Obi, Atiku, and so many of them are there. So please, let's take a little time and listen to what Kenneth Okonkwo said about that. These people are just funny people, honestly speaking. Please watch it. Remember, this Kenneth Okonkwo is the person who said that Peter Obi is incompetent of becoming president of Nigeria. And today, listen to what he said on this question that they asked him, please. Watch it.
You know, this party is not about power. This party is about the welfare of Nigerians. And I can tell you categorically, I told you that before I get into an association or a political party, I take my time. When I left my last political party, it was more than 1 year ago. And I made it clear I wasn't going into APC or PDP. If there is no new arrangement that I'm sure will take care of the welfare of Nigerians, I will stay in my house and pray. Because that's the only reason I came into politics. And as God will have it, meaning that God has really heard the prayers of Nigerians. You can see the amalgamation of all political bigwigs from every political party. This is the dawn of a new era in the political history of Nigeria. Let me tell you, ADC, not only that they are mounting it, it is in their constitution. Article 3 that talked about the motto of ADC tells you that their motto is in pursuit of the welfare of our people and the nation. And when you hear arise and shine Nigeria, you and I know that this is the time for Nigeria to arise. We have been in darkness of this incompetent and corrupt APC. And this party that is going to be our light will shine the light in this darkness, and darkness will not comprehend it. APC will not understand what hits them. Because when you shine light in darkness, darkness disappears. So this is the party of the light for Nigerians. And we are going to shine that light, and Nigerians will find their way. In the ADC constitution, one of the objectives to create the favorable environment for every Nigerian to contribute to the welfare, peace, and prosperity of this country. We are in a good place. And I've always said it. In 2027, it is the people of Nigeria versus APC. ADC is simply the platform for the people of Nigeria to choose alternative good leaders, so that this 419 party called APC should be consigned to history.
Okay, you know that a lot of members from the All Progressive Congress, they are also in this very coalition, and that of the PDP. For 16 years of the PDP and that of the APC, which is ongoing, we've not actually seen that development. What makes you think that this coalition will bring the change that Nigeria needs?
You know, leadership evolves. And I've always said that your best teacher is your last mistake. People in PDP, people in APC that have been in government, they have seen that whenever they are doing anything wrong, it will come back to them. All the people that have been in power in Nigeria and did not do what they ought to do as at that time, they are reaping it. Because we have seen a government that does not respect the fundamental human rights of Nigerians, that when you vote, you're not even sure that your votes will count. So this is a lesson for every one of them now in this new coalition, where we are going to make discipline as our first order in this party, to follow the rules of the party, follow the example of rule of law and democratic tenets, and give Nigerians security and welfare. So they've learned their lessons. And I know, as one of the leaders here, he said, the only reason I'm in this coalition is to remove the evil that I put on this nation. So I'm glad that they are understanding that if evil is upon a nation, it consumes everybody. And let all of us hold hands in Nigeria and remove this evil that has come.
Will you be willing to work with Peter Obi, the principal in Labour Party at that time, which you said that he didn't do the needful in Labour Party that made you lead his camp? So if he comes to become the presidential candidate in this coalition, in this new party, in this new era, will you be willing to work for him?
I told you very clearly, this is now the time of the coalition, not individual parties. And I can guarantee you that anybody that emerges from this coalition, I will work with the person. I said it before, and I'm saying it again. And I'm glad that everybody is in this coalition, because I made it clear that without the coalition of the opposition parties, we are wasting our time. You don't go to compete with an incumbent, each person running alone. It doesn't make sense. So whoever emerges from this coalition in a free and fair presidential primary election, I will work for them. It's as simple as that.
What makes you think that the ADC is safe than any other party in Nigeria? Because we also have some litigations trying to crop up. Don't you think that the ruling or progressive cannot break into ADC?
You know, I've always said, any party that allows itself to be broken into, it is their fault. But I can tell you there's no litigation that is pending against ADC, because we did our due diligence. But that does not mean that APC will not try to infiltrate. Of course, when you are in a battle with somebody, you send your own spies. And that is why we must make sure that we do not allow them to infiltrate us. We will search out any infiltrator and give him the treatment that is given to spies. You know the consequence. When you catch a spy, you know what they do to spies. So APC will try, but they will fail, because consistently APC has been making mistakes. Every decision they have taken has always been a harbinger of disaster for them. You know Shetima, you know what happened in Northeast. I told people that the APC will implode. Ganduje was sacked, and then maybe he's in hiding now, because I've not heard about him. So before long, APC people will be in hiding, because the shame that will come upon them, they will not even be able to talk and speak to Nigerians again. That Peter Obi betrayed me. He went back to Abure's office to publicly endorse them. And when he was there talking to them, one of the leaders in that executive sent me the video to mock me that the person I'm fighting for against them has come to their office to endorse them. What am I waiting for? That was the first time I made a public statement that I disassociate myself from anything Abure and his executive. And that was the last time I sat down with Peter Obi to talk. And then we continued. Because I told Peter Obi, if because they lied to you, or even they told you that INEC, because then he didn't know they lied to him, but I know, being a lawyer, I said, assuming without considering that INEC has even recognized them, INEC recognized Tinubu. So why not let us go back with him? So I told him, because one philosopher, Alan Kasden, he said, never compromise your principles, even if it will lead to difficulty in the short term. Never compromise your principles, even if it will lead to problems, to difficulties in the short term. That's my policy. So, if INEC recognize them and you know they did the wrong thing and you want to go with them, then you are a politician of convenience, not a politician of conviction. And I told him, you are going into a problem. And so we continued. I disassociated myself and continued on that platform. It dawned on him, because when he went to endorse them, he saw the backlash. Then he said, no, he's looking for reconciliation. I said, fine. That is still a very good escape route for him, if he can, maintain it and distance himself from them. It was when INEC now publicly disassociated itself from Julius Aburi. That was when Obi now came out and became neutral. And I'm like, sir, you cannot be neutral on this issue. Something has to be done. And then, even when INEC disassociated themselves, Labour Party did not have leadership, and confusion was breeding everywhere. I said, sir, you cannot be neutral. You have to say something. NLC had a meeting, and all of us came there. And he said he prefers to sit on the fence. And I'm like, hold on. In front of everybody, I said, sir, this is not something you can sit on the fence. A leader must take a decision. And he insisted he prefers to sit on the fence. And I said, okay. When he left, all the people there, we are so annoyed. I still begged them. I said, please. Because I know that his political career is on the line. I still begged them. I said, please, let's write a letter to him and still give him time to take decision. Because everybody wanted to implement whatever is his wish. Because we are fighting for him. We wrote a letter to him and still gave him some time. He still did not reply at all. That was when we came up with the caretaker committee idea. It was my brainchild. I went into the constitution and I told them, the NWC having been rejected, this is the only choice we have legally. And that was how it was carried. And then Alex Oti, the governor Alex Oti, took it upon himself because he's a more decisive person. And then organized the woman here trip where they, chose and Obi came and announced the caretaker chairman. After that day, Julius Abure people went to court. Obi even told them that if they go to court and win, he will support them. After he's announcing the caretaker committee. And they went to court and won. And Obi abandoned the caretaker committee and started working with them.
That's my elder brother has come to join your stage. They are going to be well.
It's all right. So you have seen it. Anyway, please do well to drop your comment on the comment section what you think. I'll see you in my next video. There are so many updates I want to share with you, all right? Thank you very much. God bless you.